Well, hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I do have the prediction video for Hull City versus Blackburn Rovers taking place at the MKM tomorrow 3 p.m. Now, it is going to be an interesting game after coming back from our two away trips, both of them picking up our first two away wins of the season, and I believe I think 10 goals were scored in the game combined through both sides. So yes, we've come off a goal frenzy. We've had a few of them not in our favours this season, so we could see a goal frenzy being at the MKM tomorrow. You just have to wait and see later on in the video to know what my score prediction is. But we'll first move into my predicted Hull City team lineup. In goal, Nathan Baxter. He's had a good start so far. He's let in a few goals, but I wouldn't really call them keeper mistakes. I'd more call them defensive mistakes, as we just can't seem to get a clean sheet from anywhere. But Nathan Baxter, he's been pulling out some good saves. I'm just waiting for his quality to drop off, as we did see last season. But at the moment, he's still my number one choice over Matt Ingram. So Nathan Baxter does get the start in the net. Moving into the back four now, I don't see Jacob Greaves moving from left back. I don't think that Brandon Fleming's fit enough to get replaced in yet. Maybe another few games and maybe he could possibly get the tip to start at left back. But at the moment, Jacob Greaves is still there, obviously with Callum Elders out for a little bit. Into the back two now, obviously Tobias Figueiredo and Alfie Jones. Both of them have had a solid start back from when they got removed from the squad due to playing absolutely poorly. Especially Tobias Figueiredo, who has had a really, really strong return to the side, doing what he needs to do and not messing about. He's defended how he needs to defend, not how he thinks he wants to defend, which has been an improvement. Over at right back, Cyrus Christie. Although Louis Coyle is back from his illness, I don't really see him slotting into this side anywhere. Cyrus Christie's been on such an incredible form, especially after picking up his first goal on the away trip to Rotherham. I don't see him getting replaced either, so the back four remains as is. Moving just ahead, we do have the partnership of Ryan Woods and obviously Jean-Michael Seri, and this partnership has been somewhat okay in these two away trips this week, and I'm all for it. Ryan Woods, he's had some really good form recently after having a meh start to his tenure at Hull City, and obviously Jean-Michael Seri is coming back to what we like to see him to be. I felt in the Blackpool game especially, he was feeling a bit shaky. But then coming to the Rotherham game, I would say that he was one of the highlights in that midfield there, really controlling the ball as he should be. So hopefully this continues into this game at the MKM. Moving a bit further up the field, obviously we do have Regan Slater, the 50 grand man, commanding the centre of attack, who's actually been doing an alright job at this sort of more attacking midfield role. We saw it, he was trying to implement it into his playstyle earlier on in the season, but obviously at that time he wasn't really encouraged by his team to do that, and then therefore it did seem like a weakness rather than a strength. But now that he's been encouraged to do it, obviously Andy Dawson's worked it into his tactics. I can see this being an implemented tactic throughout the season, even when the new manager comes in, who's looking likely to be Liam Rosinia, the former Hull City player. Moving a bit further out wide, we do have Dimitrios Pelkas. Now he's just creating goals, isn't he? Maybe not getting too many assists, but really creating the magic. I think he's getting at least one assist per game now, but he's making creative chances, and this is what I've been saying that he's been needed to do, and he's been doing it, and I'm so thankful for him doing that. The other guy on the right will be Greg Doherty. He had a bit of a stinky game against Rotherham, missing a few chances, but we've all got to forgive him after having that fantastic goal in the Blackpool away game. My oh my, still cannot get that out of my mind. And then up top, Ryan Longman, who has actually scored 2 goals since returning from injury, and obviously his first 2 goals since he signed for us in January. He scored bangers of goals to get his contract in January, and then since then he's not scored anything until these two, dare I say it, scuff goals. Certainly the one in the Blackpool game was, the one in the Rotherham game was a little bit more worked, a bit more Tom Eaves-esque of a goal, and Tom Eaves didn't score in that game, luckily enough for us. So that's it for my Hull City predicted lineup. Let me know down in the comments who you think you'd change, add, remove, and stuff like that. Let's move on to a bit of information about both sides coming into this match. So it is an interesting clash between Hull City and Blackburn. Whilst doing my research, I noticed something that was absolutely mind-boggling. In the last 8 meetings of the two sides, there's been a clean sheet for at least one of the sides, whether that being in Hull City's favour or Blackburn. Obviously, last season it was a 2-0 win both ways at the MKM. We won 2-0, and obviously at Blackburn they won 2-0. But it's really interesting that I think in the last 11 appearances there's only been one draw, and that was a 1-1 draw in 2015, which is the last time that there wasn't a clean sheet in the game. So it's an interesting one, especially with the fact that last season, when we did beat Blackburn at the MKM, it was Adrian Jali's first game in charge of the club. Obviously, I do have the vlog up for him coming out onto the pitch with all the flames going, so I'd highly recommend you checking out that vlog after this video. Obviously, with us winning 2-0, it's an extra icing on the cake. But we'll see if fortune tells again, obviously with a lot of history surrounding this game, especially for us now, of course, with that Adrian Ilajali link. Moving into my official prediction for the game. So I know I've just said that we've had an 8-game clean sheet streak with Blackburn either way. I do think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Blackburn at the moment, they're sitting 3rd in the table. They've lost 7 games, though. Luckily enough, they've won the other 10. They've not picked up a draw yet this season, yet I think that this might be the chance. We've come off an incredible form away from home. I don't think that we'll replicate it as well as we were performing away into this home setting, especially against this Blackburn side that seem to be in form at the moment. But I definitely think that we'll walk away with something, luckily, and I do think it will be the points shared evenly with a 1-1 draw. So I do think the first goal will come from Dimitrios Pelkas. I think that he'll grab himself on the score sheet. Obviously, with this new formation tactic that Andy Dawson's working with, it seems like goals can come from anywhere, and they really have been. So I do think that Dimitrios Pelkas will grab a goal to open up the game. And then obviously, to reply back, it'll be Ben Brereton Diaz, the man who is currently tied with Oscar Estupinian for top scorer in the Championship. He only managed to bag 1 against us last season, obviously that being in the 2-0 away win for 2-0 away at Blackburn for them. So I do think that he'll respond with a one goal equaliser and send him to top of the Championship top scorers. Obviously, unfortunately, that'll be in the worst case for Oscar Estupinian, as he'll be knocked off the #1 spot for the first time since, I think, the 2nd game of the season or something like that. So, unfortunate news that, but yeah, not really much to be done about that. We'd rather pick up points than rather boosting someone's stats within the squad. I see that in that case at the moment, especially with us being 3 points off relegation. And if we successfully manage to pick up 3 points against Blackburn tomorrow, we could propel ourselves up to, I think, 11th in the table, if all things go our ways. So we are slowly climbing up that table. We need to climb up the table. Obviously, if we do get Liam Rosini back into the squad, with his managerial experience over at Derby, I think that we will propel on. And as Jean-Michel Sarri said in the interview yesterday, we are still in for promotion. So that's it for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to make sure you stay up to date on all the Hull City news and content. Obviously, I will have a match day vlog out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But this has been the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel. Goodbye.